Perfect timing too with the button, so I can get that nice crisp. Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Alrighty. Welcome in, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bedell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span. We're back again after a day off on Thursday. Life schedules, everything, March Madness got in the way. But alas, we are back again to talk about some college hoops and all of the NFL crazy free agency, because it is just nuts right now. It is literally nonstop. There is so much, almost too much for us to talk about, but we're going to do our best. Get into a little bit more detail on that than we did in last week's episode. But first, before we get into the nitty-gritty, be sure to follow us on social media over at GTD_sports, other than TikTok, where we are at GTDsports.com. You can follow our personal accounts as you see on screen. I am at RyanBennell8, and Elijah is at ElijahSpan19. And be sure to go over to GTDsports.com, where you can find all of our other shows on our podcast network, as well as articles and just all of our content on there. So, yeah, and I gotta throw this in there too. Code GTDS125 on BetUS Sportsbook for up to 125% deposit bonus or deposit match, however you want to word it. If you're a gambler, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But all right, yeah, I feel like everybody that's used a sportsbook knows about like the deposit matches and everything. But all right, let's go ahead and get into a highlight and low light of this week. I'll go ahead and start us off just because I've been waiting to talk about this one kind of a little bit. But my highlight of the weekend, if anybody follows me on social media, you may have seen it. But I got to work media for March Madness in San Diego. I flew out on Thursday, covered TCU versus Seton Hall on Friday. Then did the same for TCU Arizona on Sunday. Got to do all the press conferences with the players, coaches. It was honestly just the best experience I've had in my career in terms of like just work experience. It was just so cool. Like half the time I was just sitting around there. I was like, dude, I don't even belong here, bro. Like all these big name motherfuckers, like this dude from the New York Times and stuff were there. And I'm like, just little old me working for Frogs of War, a fan blog, but it was pretty cool. And then kind of on that same note, my low light was I am a huge TCU. We're both TCU guys. So that was just heartbreaking last night. That has to be my low light. TCU's Cinderella hopes their hopes at a Cinderella run were ripped away from us because of a dog shit officiating crew. Elijah, you probably watched the game, I assume, right?
Oh yeah, every second.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah. We can talk about it more. I think it's on the list of games we're gonna talk about, so we can get in it there.
All right, yeah.
I'm
down though.
I guess I'll go. So my highlight of the week is NFL free agency. It's been going off this offseason. Like every time I get an ESPN alert, I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, what's this gonna be? Which, usually it's just like some score or whatever. But like, dude, every buzz alert that they send out, I'm like, oh, it's always something good today. Like just every day they're hitting us up with stuff. And then my low light, I think I created the worst bracket of all time.
Oh, yeah. Dude, no, I mean, it wasn't. I contributed to. Oh wait, are you mean your personal bracket or like our podcast bracket?
Oh, both. They're both dog shit.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. I think our like max points is like 580 or something.
It's bad.
That is not very good. I'll say that. Yeah.
It's like, but 3 of my final 4 picks didn't make it to the Sweet 16. The only one that made it was Gonzaga, and then 2 of them didn't even make it past the first round. It was only Tennessee who made it to the round of 32.
Did you also have Iowa?
I had Iowa and, of course, Kentucky.
Dude, yeah, I had originally my Final Four was Gonzaga against Kentucky, which I felt so confident about. And then my other side was Villanova versus Iowa. And I changed it from Kansas to Iowa like with like 10 minutes left until the first game tipped off on Thursday. Damn. And I fucking hate myself for it, dude, because now Kansas has such a clear path to the Final Four. It's insane.
Yeah. And then, dude, Villanova's scary.
Dude, yeah, Villanova, bro. they can go under the radar all year. Like no matter what, even if they're like on a fringe top 25, they're still gonna pull out a hell of a performance in March.
Dude,
Like
I was watching
every
that.
time.
I guess we can just go right ahead and just say this is our March Madness selection.
Yeah, a
so,
little section of it. Yeah.
So I think that Villanova Ohio State game might have been the best game I've ever watched without a single lead change.
Dude, I didn't get to watch that game unfortunately, but yeah, I was keeping up with the like StatCast. It was about like around a 10-point game, like literally the entire time.
Well, it got pretty close. Ohio State brought into 4 within 2, and then they tied it. Of course, I put a live bet on them plus 580 or something like that, and then they immediately started throwing bricks. That's the worst too. Is every single live bet I place, I'm like, okay, this is gonna work. And then because the team's on a run, I'm like, all right, momentum's in their favor. And as soon as I hit that button,
yeah, dude, live betting is so fucking dangerous.
Chunking
really
bricks.
Where the value comes in live betting is you gotta just get lucky on like predicting a run before it happens. Because otherwise, like the odds are already gonna be fucky if the team like starts the run. But
I don't know, dude. I usually live bet my college basketball bets because like spreads in my mind for basketball, like I'm still a novice when it comes to basketball gambling for the most part, and I just they don't compute with me. So like I just don't really do it as much. I'll just throw a TCU money line every now and then, and be like, all right, Frogs are gonna win.
Dude, I had maybe not the best, but because I typically try not to put money on the Frogs anytime like I'm working the game, especially like being on the sideline for that Arizona game, man. Like I was truly like courtside, and I can't react at all. Like I can't show any emotion, I can't clap, I can't like do anything. I just had to sit there, show no emotion, and type away at my computer as I'm working. That shit was impossible, bro. Oh, especially against Arizona. And I had money in the game. That's why I try not to put money on the Frogs because it, hinders my reporting abilities. But sometimes you just can't help it. I mean, TCU plus 10 last night was just, it was beautiful. Like, how could you turn that away?
Oh, I had money line.
I thought about it. I made a TikTok about money line, and then people in the comments were like, "Oh, who's here after they choked?" They didn't fucking choke.
It was a 9 seed against a 1 seed. They didn't fucking choke.
Dude, I know. All right, we can go and I guess let's go ahead and talk about this.
Here, give me 1 second. My dogs. Do you hear my dog whining?
Kinda. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that real quick. Just beat it, baby.
Good. I'll preface this game because I have a lot of comments about this game. Like Elijah said, I mean, it was a 9 seed taking a 1 seed to overtime, which is already impressive in of itself. And I know not a lot of people necessarily know about the TCU basketball program. And I hope, oh God, Elijah and Mac are beefing back there. But I hope that this season entirely, yes, but mostly just this past month or two of TCU basketball, like the way they made the tournament, the way they had those upsets in the Big 12, and now to get a tournament win and almost beat the number 2 fucking overall seed in the tournament. That's huge. And I even saw people on Twitter just, I don't know, nobody like in particular, but kind of just some media personalities within college basketball saying like, I can't believe I wasn't watching TCU all season. Like, this team is awesome. I love the way they play. And I mean, it's true. Like, obviously I'm biased as the TCU guy, but like, I've never seen a group this connected, this driven. They play for each other. They play hard. Like, it was just a special season to watch. And for it to end like that and if you didn't see the game, it was 75-75 with 12 seconds on the clock. TCU had possession. So they had, it was the last shot, if not overtime. Who cares? I will say I am a little bit frustrated with Jamie Dixon's play call or lack of play call per se on that.
It was just Eddie Lampkin screens all day. Like it was working for the most part, but I was like, all right, we're going to do something different.
Yeah.
Towards the end there, Lampkin was just running on fumes on a couple of those screens. And I can't blame him at all because he's a big dude and he was doing it literally, I don't know, every single possession.
Yeah.
So
because that's what they did against Seton Hall in round, because Seton Hall has like a 7'2" dude. So they did that to kind of like get him out of the paint and make room for the guards to drive, which was smart and it worked out. So I guess they kind of tried the same thing against Arizona with their 7-2 guy Coloco, but they did such a good job of like trapping Miles off the screens. And that's kind of what happened. He just got trapped and like he got backed up into the half court and he got fucking mauled, bro. He got literally just body bumped across the line and then just flies backwards, loses the ball, and the ref just swallows his whistle.
Yeah, there was a couple no calls there on Miles that I did not like. Like that one where it's towards the end of the game and he was driving on the baseline and he got fucking bodied. There's one where he hit his head. I was like, how is that a no call? When there's literally a couple calls where Eddie Lampkin is sitting dead still, arms up, not doing anything whatsoever. Guy barely touches him and it's called for Arizona. I'm like, that. Yeah, how does that make sense though? Like,
I was convinced that the referees had Arizona winning it all in their brackets. Like, it literally got to the point, like you're right, like Eddie Lampkin when he's just standing straight up, they would just call a foul as soon as Arizona goes up for a layup. It'd be like a whistle. And I'm like, where even is the contact? Like, I would understand if they were touching, but he's just like, oh, there's players in the area. Let's fucking call a foul. Like, it was really enraging, I will say.
Not only that, like, it's just, I don't know. It turned into a little bit of a ref show, and
it did. They stole
just
the show.
Watching everyone just go to the line nonstop was pretty boring. Got towards the end there, I wouldn't say boring because it was a great game, but like it's just really frustrating because it was like, dude, like I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch guys like I watched probably. I don't know how much time do you think we took watching guys wait to shoot free throws? Like 20 minutes?
Yeah, probably a decent amount. Hey, I honestly though, whenever I'm working the games, that those times are like awesome for me because I can like actually do stuff without having to like not pay attention to the game. Because I hate whenever I'm like live tweeting and stuff just happens so fast that like I'm just looking at my computer screen and I miss it and like I just have to write about what happened.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I want to talk about though with this game, aside from the officiating, is do you know who Kirk Krisa is?
Yes, dude, that white guy headband.
Yeah, white guy with the headband. Dude, I want to punch him in his dumb fucking face so bad. But
dude,
here's the thing.
I think I literally said during like 5 times during the game. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're literally from Estonia. Like,
he's from what?
Estonia.
Estonia?
He's from Eastern Europe. And like he did nothing but brick threes and talk shit.
Dude, yeah. They have and I didn't even know about that guy, but yeah, Arizona has a lot of international players. Like Benedict Mathurin is Canadian, their big guy Coloco is Cameroon. Their power forward Tubulus is from somewhere in Eastern Europe. I forget. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Kirk Krisa. If you don't know who this guy is, he's a scumbag, all right? He's number 25 on Arizona, and he's a white boy that wears a headband, which really that's all you need to know. Yeah, like those type of players, same thing with like dudes that wear goggles, like the full goggles. They're either cold as fuck, like nasty, they like Doug on St. Peter's, like that kind of dude. Or like Alex Caruso is a great example of a positive headband white guy. Other times they're literally just like the scum of the earth and douchey and entitled. But so basically this kid all game, and of course I was getting a little bit frustrated because TCU was losing. Anything would go Arizona's way. Like they'd get a big dunk. He would run down the court, look at the TCU fan section and blow kisses to them. Like in transition while the game is happening. And he was also like making faces to the camera and like taunting the TCU players. This dude shot fucking 1 for 10 from the field with 3 points and 2 turnovers and a plus-minus of plus 24. Not good. Or I guess would it be negative 24?
Yeah, it'd be negative.
Yeah, the bad one. Yes, the worst plus-minus on the court. Yeah, and the worst thing was at the end of the game when TCU was doing their alma mater, like everybody was holding up the frogs. He walks over to them and just does this and like stares at them. Like, bro,
does the frog?
Yeah, like mockingly. Like, bro, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, you're literally a 1 seed, and you went to overtime with a 9 seed. Like,
Yeah.
take your dub and go home. Like, act like you've been there before.
Dude, exactly. And it wasn't even just him.
That kind of pissed me off because, like, yeah, like the constant U of A chants, like how much they're freaking out, and I could tell like they were getting chirpy.
Yeah,
and I was like, dude, Arizona, like you're literally a basketball school, one of the best basketball schools in the nation, easily the best basketball school in the Big 12 for the past couple of years. Like you get nonstop, nonstop, fucking 5-star recruits, like. Come on. Like
exactly.
This is literally our first. We literally are coming off our first tournament win since like 1987.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you beating us is not an accomplishment whatsoever.
Yeah, and it was only in overtime. Where I will say though, Benedict Mathurin, their guy number 0 is projected. He's a lottery pick. That dude's cold. He's fucking good. I literally knew though when we were up by 3. Mathurin had the ball at the top of the key. I was like, this motherfucker's about to pull it. He pulled it, and I'm like, this motherfucker's about to make it. And then he made it, and I'm like, God damn it, no.
He pulled it up. He had some room on that screen, and I was like, as soon as he got in the air, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that's like big-time players hit big-time shots.
Score. I was like, we have to score right now, or we're not going to win an OT. And then,
I kind of saw that coming as well. But, yeah, it wasn't even just Krisa after the game, too. Like, you know, typically after a big March Madness win, and maybe it's a little bit different because it wasn't an upset per se, you typically see the team like run to their bench and celebrate with their teammates, like, you know, huddle together and stuff. Bro, Arizona immediately just dispersed to like, they were like in a line, like 7 of them, where the TCU fans were. They were waving, blowing kisses, doing the gritty, like while looking at them, like, like that. And like one guy literally goes up to our cheerleaders and is like, like with L's. And it's like, what the fuck are you accomplishing with that? Like,
I wonder.
It's just, I get it that we lost. And it's like, of course we're going to be salty because we lost. But it's just like, dude, I don't know, win with some class. Like,
I kind of noticed that though. I was like, bro, they're getting way too hyped up and like way too like for beating a 9 seed. It's kind of it's kind of embarrassing, honestly.
Exactly. For Arizona, I agree.
It makes you kind of wonder because TCU kids love talking shit. How much shit were they talking to the Arizona bench?
Yeah, maybe? Well, I will say the basketball team does a pretty good job of, because I noticed it against Seton Hall.
Not the team.
Oh, the students.
Yeah.
Well, I will say in the arena, TCU fans were probably outnumbered 8,000 to 500, like probably.
Yeah, those U of A chants were loud.
Dude, I mean, it's like a 2-hour drive for them from the stadium. So compared to TCU's like a 24-hour drive. So yeah, they traveled very well. And I remember I tweeted something about how fucking annoying those U of A chants were. And then I got clowned. People were like, oh, newsflash, it's wrong for a team to chant, for like support their team. I'm like, no, it's just, in my opinion, when you do a chant after every single fucking point scored, it diminishes the value of the chant. You know, you do that when you're on like a big run to keep the run going, not just every time you hit a damn free throw, just U of A, U of A. And also just think of another fucking chant. You got to have more than one. That was the only one.
I don't know. I hope they lose.
See, I hope they lose, but also like, because they deserve to lose. But at the same time, if they win it all, it makes TCU look really good. They took the national champion to overtime.
Nah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. But it was very fun watching Eddie Lampkin and Christian Coloco go at it because, man, Coloco is good. He's just so fucking big. He's one of those guys where his size is the reason he's going to be successful. Like, he's a massive human being.
Like him and Purdue's big man, Edie.
Yes. Yeah. Literally just dominates.
7'4", and he's just like, yeah, I'm taller than everybody. So
yeah, dude, that would be a nightmare matchup. And I mean, I think Eddie did okay. They definitely needed some adjustments, but I mean, Eddie made up for it on offense. Dude had a career high in points and rebounds.
Nah, it's just a swagger.
Yeah, like, dude, I love that guy, man. I really hope this team is the same next year, but
yeah, I feel like Is Miles a senior or is he a junior?
Miles is a sophomore.
Oh, shit.
But the thing is, every single player on the TCU team is eligible to return next season, other than Harry Young. But let's be honest, he played like 3 minutes all season. And Chuck O'Bannon is 23 years old. So people think he might just quit, like he might just stop playing basketball because he's 23. But he still has 2 more years of eligibility. So if Mike Miles decides not to enter the draft, the exact same TCU team will be back next year. Which
I don't think he'll enter the draft. What would he be?
Right now, he'd be like a guaranteed second-round pick. Probably not first, but he will get drafted if he goes right now. And that's a thing, though, is people think he might stay, too, because
unfinished biz.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Unfinished business, and because he could bump himself up to a first-round draft pick with another good year.
Desmond Bane did it, so.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. I mean, Desmond Bane, Mike had NBA hype his freshman year. Like, as soon as he came on campus, he had NBA hype. But Desmond Bane, as a freshman, dude, was our 6th man and never thought about the NBA whatsoever. And then senior year is really where he popped off. So I'd love to see that for Mike.
Yeah, and Desmond Bane also wasn't supposed to be I don't think he was supposed to be nearly as good as he is in the NBA. So
dude, yeah, I still can't believe how he's panned out, but I'll take it. I love watching him play.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. If Mike stays, though, it's also huge because this could be the best recruiting year TCU ever has. Like, we could get like a potential 5-star recruit even, only because of Mike Miles, because they want to play with Mike Miles. They know Mike Miles. So if he leaves, it'd be a little bit tougher.
It'd be. The only thing I'd really be afraid of is if he enters the transfer portal.
Oh, dude, I don't think Mike would enter the transfer portal. I really don't. I mean, just coming into college, he had offers everywhere, and he chose TCU because he wanted to put on for his city, and he wanted to build the program from the ground up and be the guy, which is exactly what he's done.
I mean, dude, if he comes back next year, I think we can make the Sweet 16 at least.
I do too, honestly. I mean, really though, the Big 12 is just such a wild card. You got to win half your games in the Big 12, and that is so hard. Yeah, it is tough. But I mean, we did it this year. I think they could do it again next year. But all right, let's not indulge too much in just the TCU side of things. Another really good game over the weekend was Memphis and Gonzaga. I was very convinced at halftime. I was like, all right, Gonzaga's getting exposed. Like, here we go. This is it. And then Drew Timme just put on a fucking clinic in the second half, dude. I think he almost outscored Memphis by himself in the second half. It was nuts.
Yeah, that doesn't do good for everyone hating Drew Timme stock. Or actually, it probably rises.
What do you mean people hating Drew Timme stock?
Dude, Drew Timme, a lot of people don't like him.
Why?
Bro, because in the national championship, he was celebrating everything. He was doing the mustache when they were down 18 points. It's like, bro, shut up.
Okay.
So that's why
I get that aspect.
I don't really like him that much. I
just like him as a player. Yeah. Oh, I love Chet, dude.
He's fun to watch. I hope he stays another year in Gonzaga, but I know he won't.
Yeah, he's
won't be
the
the
projected number 3 pick.
He won't be the same guy.
No, I don't think he's gonna succeed in the NBA, honestly. Even though he's 7'1" and can shoot, dude, he's literally paper for skin, glass for bones. If he goes into the paint against a true big man, he's gonna get bodied.
Yeah, I think
he can never be in the post.
No, imagine him trying to body up Joel Embiid.
Yeah, exactly.
Giannis.
That was my first. Yeah, Giannis, dude, against
Giannis. Chet. You think Chet Holmgren trying to block Giannis is gonna work out?
No,
Giannis is literally gonna break him in half.
Yeah, exactly. Just with a single drive to the basket.
But right now, I've watched 4 or 5 Gonzaga games, past month and a half. So
yeah, what's kind of ironic? Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
But I enjoy watching him play. He's really silky. His long arms get him a lot of blocks, and
yeah, he gets a lot of blocks.
It's fun to watch on off. He catches really good alley-oops, slams, and then of course he can shoot. So he's pretty exciting college player. But I want him to stay because I really just don't see him doing anything in the NBA.
I really also want him to stay because I'm pretty sure Timmy and Nimhard might be leaving as well. And that kind of brings me to my next point about Gonzaga is, in general, they seem to be one of those teams. I know, obviously, like Jalen Suggs was an exception because he got drafted pretty high. But with guys like Drew Timme and Chet Holmgren, they kind of remind me a lot of – do you remember Luke Garza for Iowa last year?
No.
He was the big center. He could shoot. He was like 7 foot, and he won the Wooden Award, which is like the Heisman for college basketball.
I thought it was the Naismith.
What?
I thought the Naismith was the Heisman for college basketball.
No, it's the Wooden. Wait, what is the difference? I know the Wooden Award is like the big award. Let's see. What is the Naismith Award? Outstanding men's and women's basketball players and coaches.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, you're saying.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's awarded to the play of the year. Okay, well, the Wooden Award, I don't know. It's like the same thing. The Wooden Award is the one I always see about. But Luke Garza literally won that award, but then got drafted at the end of the second round and hasn't seen the court like at all in the NBA. So, and he won that award over guys like Cade Cunningham, you know? And it seems like to me, Gonzaga always gets those kind of guys that are really good in college. Like they are just definition of a college baller, but they're never going to pan out in the NBA. Like I wouldn't, even though Drew Timme he's incredible. Like the stuff he does down low in the post sometimes is just like, how did he even think to do that? But he does it. And I don't see him having a successful career in the NBA. Same with Chet Holmgren. Like I think on their roster right now, Nimhard has the best odds of having a good NBA career.
Yeah. I also think that Gonzaga should definitely opt into the Pac-12 because.
Oh, is that a conversation?
No, I just want them to.
Okay. I was about to say, I didn't know that was in the rumor mill.
No, I just it's hard to take them seriously when their biggest opponent is St. Mary's every year.
Yeah, and they lost to them once this year.
Yeah, they play in a joke conference, like let's be honest here. And so for them to play in a joke conference and constantly get number 1 seeds because they dominate, because they're clearly head and shoulders above everyone in the West Coast Conference, like it's just it's gotten old a little bit for me.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see them join a bigger conference because that's just another thing that kind of is fucky about college basketball, just how many conferences there are. Because I can't even put a number on it, but I know there's 350 Division I teams, so at least 30 conferences right there. I would like to see them in the Pac-12. Yeah,
I mean, you got the Power 5 in the Big East, and then
Big East counts. It's like the Big 6 for basketball, basically.
Yeah, and then some of the Group of 5 schools, but their conference isn't even good as like the Group of 5 schools. Like what would you say? Like they're probably better than the Mountain West, right?
What, the WCC?
Yeah,
that's tough. I don't know. I mean, the Mountain West kind of crashed and burned in the tournament. Like they literally all lost, but
they all choked.
Yeah, but I mean, Boise was pretty decent this year. I really liked Colorado State this season. San Diego State did okay. Wyoming kind of had a dark horse year. But, yeah, they just sucked. I don't know. The WCC, because who else do they have? I mean, it's Gonzaga. It's San Francisco is another good one. So I'd say it's probably Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and San Francisco. That's it. Maybe Santa Clara every now and then are decent.
Those are the top dogs, and like,
well, I will say though,
high school gyms.
I respect the fact that Gonzaga does try and pad their schedule, like their pre-conference schedule. Like this year in the regular season, they played a top 25 Texas team. They played number 11 UCLA. They played number 9 Duke. They played Alabama, who was another tournament team. Texas Tech. So like, they played some okay opponents. But then, they just don't have any tests. They just win every game by like 30 points after that point in like December. It's just all conference play.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's kind of why they've never necessarily gotten over the hump for the national championship game, because they've always just been so damn close every year.
I don't really think anything's going to change either. I'd be doubted. I kind of want to put a future on Villanova.
Dude, I'm thinking about it right now. There's a lot of value. It's like plus 1,400 compared to Gonzaga at like plus 200.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like Villanova, I feel like they've just been going so quiet through this whole thing.
Plus 1,400, that's worth $15.
Yeah, I haven't checked the official book, but I saw it on Twitter. So maybe the odds might be a little bit different, but still, I mean, I think there's value on it. If Gonzaga is that heavily favored at like plus 200, that's kind of ridiculous in my opinion at this point.
No, I'm not putting it on Gonzaga.
No, but
they never won it before. I wouldn't put it on Arizona either. I wouldn't put it on Kansas.
I really think Villanova is the best bet.
Probably the best like value bet.
Yeah, for sure.
Not Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think Texas Tech could actually upset Gonzaga and make it to the Final Four, but I don't think they would get the job done.
Maybe Purdue.
Oh, dude, I hate Purdue.
Streaky. They're streaky.
I'm so surprised they're in the Sweet 16. Actually, I didn't watch the game, but I heard a lot of shit went down with the officials in that one too. Texas fans were pretty mad.
That was the Illinois game too. Did you see that technical foul?
Oh, for the dunk?
Yeah, for the dunk. Literally he's really running like 20 miles an hour, dunks, and then swings because like he's running really fast, and then they call it tech, and it's just like what is going on with officiating? It feels like every sport right now is just.
And there's been a lot of charges too. Like I don't remember refs ever being this lenient with giving charges because it seems like anytime a player drives to the basket and there's contact, they call a charge. It's like, what are you talking about? Like his feet weren't set at all. And they just milk the lowering the shoulder rule. That's what they always say. It's like, oh, he lowered his shoulder. It's like, dude, he's driving. Like he's going to the fucking basket. But yeah, I've seen not even just the TCU game, but really there's been a lot of officiating woes in the tournament. But
yeah,
I digress. Yeah, I digress. Another good one was Auburn and Miami over the weekend, which did I tell you about my girlfriend's bracket?
No.
Okay, so I made my girlfriend, Stephanie, make a bracket who never has seen a college basketball game in her life and does not care to ever see one. But she did it based off her favorite mascot, her favorite city, all this stuff. And she was actually doing pretty good. I was like, I kind of agree with most of her picks. And then we get to the bottom, and she's like, "Oh, I love Miami." Like, I'm like, "No, you don't. No, you don't, honey." And she's like, "Yeah." She put some clicks in the Final Four, and I'm like, "That's not happening." But then I told her I put money on Miami money line because of her. I was like, "You're a witch. Like, you're somehow gonna get this right. It's gonna happen." Now, bro, Wisconsin's out. They play Iowa State, who I think Miami can win that game. They match up very well against them.
Iowa State's not really that good either.
Yeah, exactly. Their defense is good, though. That's the only reason they've won.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they win that, they play Kansas in the Elite Eight. And I can't think of a team that chokes in the Elite Eight or Sweet 16 more than Kansas.
True.
They do it like every year. So I'm just like, holy shit. Like you're about to get this right. Like it's about to happen. And you're going to be one of like, I don't know, 1% of America that did it. Like, she's shitting on my bracket, I'll tell you that. But okay. Anyway, enough about bracketology. About the game. What a downfall by Auburn just over the course of the season.
Dude, really. I called it. I told you they weren't making it to the Sweet 16 even. I knew they were going to choke. I could just tell, like, after they lost to – or did they lose to Georgia? They almost beat Georgia, right?
I'm not sure, but I do remember that. Yeah, because Georgia was really bad this year.
It was somewhere around like the really. I'm pretty sure they lost to Georgia.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, please.
Georgia, dude. Now, whenever I hear Georgia, I'm thinking of the Masters commercials. Georgia, like, you know.
They're coming around.
Right. They played Georgia. Oh yeah, so they beat them 74-72. Barely beat them.
It was around that time, and I think right after that game they lost
to Arkansas.
To Arkansas, and then that's when I knew. I was like, "This team's a fraud." I could spot a fraud when I can. So,
Yeah, they were one of those teams where, like, I agreed with you. Like, I kind of had a feeling. I was like, "There's no way they're going to end up making a run. Just like they're fraudulent." But my brain, I just couldn't make myself pick Miami to the Sweet 16. Like, I couldn't do
Well,
it.
you were all over them midseason. You were like, they're going to win
I
the
was,
NCAA
yeah.
tournament, and then
I wanted them as my champion. Like, even a month before, like you're right around that time is where it kind of switched the flip for me, because I was all over them. I was like, I can't wait. I'm putting them as my champion. I don't even have to think about it. I already know it.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I didn't even put him. I put him in the Sweet 16, but not past it. So
Okay.
not too bad. But yeah, that was a great. It was not so much like a great game in the sense that it was like back and forth close,
Just
but
shocking.
yeah, it was just a fun one to see.
Like, because Miami just beat Shep straight
Yeah.
up. It wasn't even close. It was a
Yeah.
17-point victory.
Yeah, that's nuts. Another big one that was wildly entertaining for actually I would say everybody, but some people probably had Kentucky winning it all, was St. Peter's, the plus 1700 money line underdog, upsetting fucking Kentucky of all teams. I am still trying to come to terms with this, but not only did they upset Kentucky, these motherfuckers did it again, and they beat Murray State, and they are in the Sweet 16 as a 15 seed. I love seeing this kind of stuff, but I think Oral Roberts was one thing. St. Peter's is a different beast entirely. I mean, the fact that they made it here makes absolutely no sense whenever you look at the, just the details of the university, their budget and everything. It's nuts.
Yeah, it was the biggest financial upset in history. Like, it was like Kentucky spends like well over $18 million a year, and St. Peter's spends like $1.5 million, which is, I mean, it takes a lot of money to run a basketball program. So yeah, it's $1.5 million, but at the same time, it's like it's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. John
to run it.
Calipari, the Kentucky head coach Calipari, his salary, like his yearly salary, is more than the Peacock's entire basketball budget.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need to hear. Kentucky has like 30,000 students. St. Peter's has 2,300 undergrads. That's it. Their campus is literally a single street with like 5 buildings in the middle of Jersey City, New Jersey. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
Yeah. And is this the beginning of the end for Coach Cal?
See, here's my thing with Coach Cal. He's the past few years, Kentucky has kind of underperformed, especially last year. I mean, they didn't even make the tournament last year, right? They weren't
They
even
were
in.
bad last year.
Yeah. And same thing with Duke, though. But my thing with Calipari is he's a great coach. I mean, you can't argue based on his history. I'm not going to bash him or say he should be gone by any means. But he's one of those guys that seems to always get his guys ready for March. Like, they just always click it on for March. And it's such a hard thing to do with the Kentucky roster because every season is a new roster. I mean, these guys are half their roster is one and dones. They're going to the league, and that's it. So to do what they do on a yearly basis is nuts. But like, I don't think there's any justification though to push Calipari out. I mean, obviously,
I wouldn't say
pretty,
this season, not at all. But like, dude, if he chokes again, if he didn't make it to like the Elite Eight next year, like that seat could get really hot. And also, too, it's like, yeah, that makes it frustrating too because he always does get his guys. He recruits really, really good.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he hasn't been able to deliver in a long time, I mean, when was the last time they won a championship? I remember they played UConn in the championship game, but lost to Shabazz Napier.
Let's see. I think it was early 2010s. 2012.
Okay,
2012 they beat Kansas. That was Anthony Davis' year.
Okay, that's right. That was
I remember that one.
Wasn't DeMarcus Cousins on that team too? Or was that a different year that Cousins came out? I know Cousins played for Kentucky, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, and then also another thing to note on with St. Peter's is if you look at their roster, And I don't mean anything by this. All right, I'm just gonna call it how it is. I'm gonna call it how I see it. Their roster, and this goes for AAU basketball. If you ever played that growing up, this is a true sentiment. The team is all black, all freakishly tall, like way bigger than this one guy. And then we have on the end of the bench, Doug. Just this random white boy. He's the only white boy on the entire roster, but he's a starter and he's lighting it up. I mean, this dude's cold. And like just from the AAU days, if you see a team that's like that, all black head coach, and then there's a white guy that's on the starting lineup,
he's fucking cold.
That's the baddest motherfucker on the team. Like, he's good. Like, that's just how it works. It's science. You can't argue with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
college basketball.
I would watch. What?
I think college basketball might be the only sport in the nation where you need a frisky white guy. Yeah, one that'll stay in the program, become the wily veteran. Like,
I agree. You're right.
They always stay because they're not that athletic, but like,
yeah, probably not gonna get drafted. Yeah, no, you're right. Every team should have that, and I feel like most teams do. At least like most good tournament teams, they always have like. I feel ironic saying this, but they're token white guy. Like, they always just have like one that's cold as fuck.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, like who's like Matthew Meyer on Baylor, the dude that looks like he lives in a trailer park.
Oh yeah,
but is actually super cold. And then
Duke always has one.
Yeah.
Christian
Kansas always has one, bro. This year it's Ryan Brown, that guy. And I hate to use the terminology like sneakily athletic because it's kind of racist to the white guy. But dude, he does not look athletic.
Okay, but it's true though. The sneaky athletic comment, it's always true. It's like Alex Caruso. Like, I don't know. Well, yeah. I've also seen Alex Caruso like after a pump. I'm like, that dude's ripped. But like when you first look at him, you're just like, dude, what's this guy doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he looks like he should be filing taxes. Like,
why is he playing? Why is he playing with LeBron right now? And then
exactly. And then he goes out of the court, does fucking windmill 360 shit, and you're like, what? Like
what is going on here?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what Dirty Doug is to St. Peter's.
Mm-hmm.
What a guy. I really, really hope that St. Peter's moves on. Who are they playing now? They're matched up against I should know this. I'm going to check. Oh, God. I'm opening the Tournament Challenge app, and I just know it's going to make me depressed seeing how bad my bracket is.
Yeah, don't pay attention.
Bro, my girlfriend is in the 87th percentile of the world, like America. What the fuck, bro? I'm only in the 52nd percentile. That's bullshit. All right. St. Peter's, though. Oh, shit. They play Purdue. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if they got anybody to handle that 7.
I remember that's why I was rooting for Texas to win, because I knew Texas would have the ultimate choke job against St. Peter's, and St. Peter's go to the Elite Eight.
Oh,
Purdue's really talented. Purdue's really talented, so I don't know. Depends on which. If they come focused, like St. Peter's is fucked. Because
Purdue is one of those teams though where it depends on which team shows up. Like they have their on days, they have their off days for sure. But yeah, all right. Well, I am very excited. Sad though that I won't be going to the Sweet 16 with TCU on Thursday, but nonetheless, I'll be watching all the games. So
I will say this though, like for us, getting a tournament win and then hanging in there with the 1 seed, taking them to the OT. If you'd have told me that like before the tournament started, I would have took it.
Oh, I would have 100%. If you would have told me that was going to happen before the season even tipped off, I would have said you're nuts. I would have said we might make the NIT. That would have been my prediction. And they just exceeded everything, bro. Yeah. I mean, like they were finished or picked to finish 8th in the Big 12, finished 5th, which I know 5th doesn't seem all that pretty, but for the Big 12, 5th place is like 2nd place in any other conference. I mean, seriously. So, alrighty though, let's hit some NFL crazy free agency chaos because everything's just flying off the wall right now. We talked a little bit about Brady coming back and some other big signings like the Russell Wilson package to Denver on last week's episode. But today we're going to get in a little bit more detail about some of these. And the big one, which I can't say it trumps Brady coming back, but probably other than Brady, this might be the biggest signing, is Deshaun Watson has been traded to the Browns. Nuts. What is your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is that Tom Brady signing with the Bucs, winning a championship his first year there, and then Rams going all in for Matt Stafford, trading 2 first-round picks, and then winning the Super Bowl his first year with the team has completely changed the league for at least the next 5 to 10 years. And that's in that line of thinking. Is like, okay, well, our roster's pretty good, but Baker Mayfield isn't a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, straight up. I like Baker. I'm a lot more supportive of Baker than I think most people are.
Yeah, you know me. I'm a big Baker hater.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him too, because he literally played the whole season hurt and then he gets tossed to the side. But I mean, like, Deshaun Watson's undeniably better than him. The only thing about Deshaun Watson is his 22 lawsuits and I'm not gonna fucking play lawyer like everyone else on Twitter, saying he's innocent, saying he's guilty. That's gotten really old at this point. We've been debating this for 2 years now. The only thing I know so far is that he was not indicted by a grand jury criminally, and we're still waiting the civil stuff. But
so he still may end up getting suspended by the NFL for a year. Who knows?
Probably, but I think
not that long. I don't think it'll be that long.
I think I read something that like the NFL has recently chosen the more cautious approach and having the wait and see type deal because other debacles like the Zeke suspension and I can't find another one off the top of my head where they just kind of played judge, jury, and executioner a little bit. They don't want to go there anymore. They want to see how everything plays
just
out.
did it with fucking Calvin Ridley like 2 weeks ago. That's what pisses me off.
The gambling thing. That's more of
but
it's different. You can't really compare apples and oranges like that. But like,
you're right. It is very different.
I see how that could be frustrating for a lot of people that it's like that, but also for the NFL, like it makes sense in their terms because like Calvin Ridley, like he bet on the league, especially with how much they're doing gambling. Like we talked about it, like it just can't be had right now. Hashtag NFL rig, you know what I mean? But like Deshaun, I mean, before he left, he's one of the premier players in the league, and then he wanted to get traded, and then all this shit came out, and now it's just kind of like, and it's so binary right now. It's like Twitter either loves him or they fucking hate him. Like they think he's the devil.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But I'm in the middle at this point. Like I've flopped back and forth, and finally I'm so tired of looking at other player play the fucking virtue signaling and all that bullshit on both sides of the coin. So I'm just like, I just want to see the results of the civil cases.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Oh God, we just got a question.
Are
we all from Iraq? No, we are not from Iraq. I can confidently say that.
No.
But yeah, no, what was weird to me is just with the whole process of him getting traded. He had his teams. It was like Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Cleveland. And then Cleveland was ruled out. He said, I don't want to go to Cleveland. He's not going to accept that as a part of his no trade clause. And then 24 hours later, bam, Deshaun Watson's a Cleveland Brown. Like, what the fuck? When did that happen? Like, I don't know if maybe it's just because of the money they offered him. He's like, shit, I can't say no to that. But yeah, because I mean, Cleveland is a great team. They really are. They have a lot of good pieces.
I mean,
with Deshaun Watson, they could get over that hump.
They're pretty similar to like the Bucs and the Rams. Like they just need an elite quarterback to get over that hump. Like they have a solid defense. They have a good O-line, a good running back.
2 good running backs.
2 great running backs, actually.
Yeah.
And wide receiver core, I'm less high on now.
Wait, didn't they just sign somebody though?
They traded for Amari
Cooper. That's who it is. Yes, Amari Cooper. Yeah. So I mean, but that's it though. They just got rid of Jarvis Landry, so it's really just Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, but he's kind of hot and cold.
I was about to say, yeah, he's one of those players that'll go for like 40 fantasy points or like -2. So there's no in between. But yeah, one thing I've thought about with all this, and I saw a little like conspiracy on TikTok, so maybe that derived this. But what if Deshaun Watson sucks? Like, what if he just comes back and he's not the same Deshaun Watson anymore? What if he's just straight up not good? And I know
thought about that.
Yeah, and I know like it's hard to say because it's Deshaun Watson. Like he's been so spectacular at Houston. He's done all these great things, but then like what if he does it? Like what if he's not?
So why I've kind of thought that in the back of my head is because he got traded to the Browns. And the Browns
Exactly. If anybody was gonna like spend this big, like go all in to like repeat the recipe of the Rams and Bucks, like and then completely just screw the pooch, it would be the Cleveland Browns, if anybody.
Easily.
Yeah. It's where quarterbacks go to die until Baker got there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just like on paper, like it's like, yeah, Browns are gonna make a playoff run, but like in my head, or just this feeling in the back of my head, I'm like, they're not gonna make the playoffs.
I don't know. That division, the AFC North, is gonna be tough. I mean, obviously I'm leaning towards the Bengals and Ravens getting the playoff spots there. But I think the Browns are fully capable, especially if Watson is playing well.
I mean, Steelers could probably end their divisional record at 3-3. Honestly, like their Steelers are always frisky.
They always fucking pull games out of the ass, dude. And yeah, Mitch Trubisky, I'm curious to see how that'll work out. I don't think it will.
The narrative's kind of changed on him a lot since he left Chicago.
It has. People have been giving him more credit, kind of like looking at his stats, like his like first 3 years stats compared to like Peyton Manning's first 3 years and stuff like that. And they're actually not that different. And people are like, Trubisky wasn't the problem. Chicago was the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I could totally see it. I mean, the kid was a baller in college. So like,
yeah, you're telling me Matt Nagy fucked something up?
What? Like, yeah, exactly.
All right, I could buy into that.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson's getting fucking $230 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed, fully guaranteed.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's actually insane.
So that's what's 230 divided by 5?
Oh, it's at least 40 a year. It's like 48 a year, 46 a year.
Fully guaranteed, though, is the kicker.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, Andy's the highest paid quarterback in history. Like quite literally a few days after Aaron Rodgers became the highest paid quarterback in history.
No, well, Aaron Rodgers is getting more a year.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, it's $50 million
a year.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers is still higher paid.
And then if you want to go there, like Mahomes is getting $450 million. So like he's just in that same ballpark as those two other guys.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what the Chargers are going to give Justin Herbert and the Bengals are going to give Joe Burrow.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. Joe Burrow is about to be like, oh man, that's going to be insane.
I don't even want to think about it.
I know that for Joe Burrow, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to sign him to like a decade-long deal. I really wouldn't.
Who knows? I don't know. I feel like Herbert's going to get paid more because
I wouldn't be surprised. But they've also been spending a lot more though.
Nah, but Bengals are cheap bastards.
They are. Other than right now, I think they're killing it right now in free agency. The Bengals.
Yeah, they've actually been doing stuff.
Yeah, which is awesome to see because they didn't do that last year.
Sign Lyle Collins.
Yeah, sign Lyle Collins, dude. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. We just released him because we have Terrence Steele, who's younger and cheaper and just as good.
Yeah, that's the thing is I know Collins is getting a little bit old. He's a little bit injury prone, so that is a negative.
Gets suspended.
Yeah. But the Bengals, they also signed Alex Kappa from the Bucks and Ted Karras from the Patriots. So that is now 3 new offensive linemen that will immediately be thrown into the starting lineup.
Bang.
So I'm honestly at the point now where I don't even think we need to fucking draft a lineman. Like that's fine.
No, you got draft a lineman.
Yeah, we probably should. You're right. But still, I mean, I think we filled the holes pretty well.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty relieving as a Bengals fan. Just be like, okay, we're actually addressing this instead of ignoring it like last year. Even though
the last 4 years, bro.
Yeah. Like Jamar Chase getting drafted was kind of a kick in the nuts, but he ultimately panned out.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, I don't even know if I am justified to question Mike Brown, the GM's decisions anymore. Like, you proved me wrong on Jamar Chase because I was furious when they picked Chase over Sewell. But hey, it worked out. But anyway, Bengals haven't made that big of a splash. Just a few names here and there. They got Hayden Hurst as well to replace CJ Uzomah, which isn't spectacular, but I mean, in all truth and honesty, like they're probably around similar skill levels, so that's fine. But another big one that just happened today, Matt Ryan is now an Indianapolis Colt, which is just disgusting to me. I'm so used to Matt Ryan as a Falcon. Like, I can't imagine Matt Ryan anywhere else. He's one of those players. And it's going to be weird, but I think for the Colts, this was a really, really good move. I think the Colts are going to spring. I mean, I know they should have been a playoff team last year, but I think they're going to be a guaranteed playoff team with Ryan next year.
Dude, front office fucking hated Carson Wentz.
Yeah, with good reason.
I mean, like, I don't know. He had some good and bad games, but like,
I know you were high on Wentz and the Colts.
I mean, he only had like.
It could have been worse. I mean, he got them to where they were 1 win away from the playoffs. But
then he choked against the Jaguars, and then but like he didn't have that many interceptions. So I mean, whatever. We're talking about Matt Ryan and the Colts right now. So I also heard him say that someone say from a Colts source they feel that they can make a deep run with their roster even with a semi-competent quarterback. And I was like, oh shit.
It's like, damn, like
they really don't like that guy. But anyway, I think this is a good move for them. But Matt Ryan's getting older. Scouts are saying like he doesn't have that same arm strength, doesn't have that same ability that made him really good.
I mean, he kind of dropped off last year. He had like 20 and 12, like 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Yeah, but it's also he didn't have his biggest target or two of his biggest target. He lost Julio.
Offense was just bad.
Lost Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Kyle Pitts was cool. Kyle Pitts only caught 1 touchdown last season.
I know. That is so weird to me.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, too. Who was it? Jacoby Myers on the Patriots. He only caught like 1 or 2, I think, all season. And it wasn't until like
in his career.
Yeah, that's true. It was his first career one. Yeah. Just weird.
And then who else they have? I mean, Cordero Patterson's back. I mean, he was good with them. He had like 11 touchdowns. But anyway, I don't know who Matt Ryan's going to throw the ball to. I mean, he's got Michael Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman's pretty solid.
But other than that, they don't really.
You're right. Yeah, they got to sign another receiver or draft another receiver.
They're probably going to go. Well, they don't have a first round pick because of Wentz. They'll probably at least spend a draft pick, second or third rounder on draft pick. Well, I don't think they have the third rounder. Fuck. They give a first and a third for Wentz.
So shit. Second round wide receiver. Boom, bada being done. Or I mean, who knows? They may make a trade on draft day to go up.
Probably not. That's unlikely. Their GM's really good, dude. It's just a quarterback league. So I kind of think that kind of sucks, but at the same time, like, is what it is.
Yeah. Do you think they beat the Titans now in the division?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really close.
No, I think Colts all the way.
Like maybe one game difference. All right, we'll see though. I think Colts, like the betting odds are pretty solid right now. They're like plus 250 or something
to win the division.
Yeah, wouldn't be too shabby.
I'm getting in that.
All right, though another quarterback. Speaking of that Falcons move, is now the Falcons have signed Marcus Mariota to a 2-year deal, and by everything, it looks like he's going to be their starter next year.
Yeah.
So, how are we feeling about Mariota back in the league? Like, I mean, he's been in the league, but back in the highlight, like the spotlight.
Well, I think he's gonna be pretty good because like last time he got some serious playing time was that one game where Carr got hurt. It was against the Dolphins, the Fitzmagic game.
Yeah.
He played really good. He looked like he could be an NFL starter again in that game. I mean, he's still fast as fuck, and
very mobile. He can make things happen.
His biggest problem is just that he can't stay healthy. So that's the thing to look out for in Atlanta. I think he just wanted to start again. I read somewhere that he was down to be like a bridge quarterback. So the Falcons are probably going to draft a quarterback this year or next year. If they don't like any of the guys, they don't fall in love with any of the guys in this draft. They also have Felipe Franks as their number 2. So if Mariota does get hurt, like the Falcons season is just completely ruined from that
I was about
point.
to say, I don't even know who Felipe Franks is.
I mean, he played at Florida and then he transferred to Arkansas. He was a high recruit, but he never panned out in college.
Okay. I'm excited though to see Mariota because I agree. I think he still has some starting capability left in the tank, and I could totally see him as a bridge quarterback though for the Falcons because when you go from a guy like Matt Ryan, who is like the definition of a franchise quarterback, like the face of your team, it's kind of hard to not immediately look for that next long-term guy, because like how good it can be with a long-term guy like that. So I wouldn't be surprised, if they just went with Mariota for this year. If he works out, great. If he doesn't, draft high, like draft him, top quarterback.
I also have some more confidence in Mariota because I really like Arthur Smith as head coach. I think he's good.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, they won a few games like last year that I didn't think they should have. Yeah.
I mean, he finally made Cordero Patterson into a competent NFL player, which
very true.
Every single team has tried to do and never really worked out. And all of a sudden he's a machine. So
yeah, like 31 too.
I have faith in Arthur Smith.
I have no ill will against the Falcons, so they're kind of one of those teams where I like seeing them do well. Like I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
I would have preferred seeing Deshaun Watson go to Atlanta, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that to happen so the Texans could get Matt Ryan and then flipping it again. Yeah. That would probably been the smartest move for the Texans because it would probably been they could have asked for Matt Ryan. They'd just been like, okay, and then flipped him for another draft pick, but whatever. And then so Saints bring back Jameis Winston after they lost the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. I don't know, 2-year deal.
Might be another bridge type thing.
Man, who knows? Because he was looking good towards the end of last year, and then he got hurt. So
yeah, that was so disappointing, man. I'm a big Jameis guy. I love Jameis. Yeah. I want to see Jameis play. I want to see him succeed.
But at the same time, though, like Sean Payton isn't there, so I don't really have as much faith in him anymore.
That's facts, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, because they're rolling with Taysom Hill. Like, are they still going to be doing the Taysom Hill Jameis back and forth thing, or is Jameis, you think, going to be back healthy, fully going to take over a starter again?
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't exactly. Like, who fucking knows what they're trying to do? I can guarantee they won't be playing Trevor Siemian, dude, because that guy was
dog shit.
Yeah, not a good quarterback. But I say that as I sit in my office chair. But
Randy Gregory agrees to a 5-year, $70 million deal with the Cowboys, and then flips to the Broncos that same day for the same amount.
Yeah, so I saw this happen, and I really only saw it once it broke as like he was a Bronco, because I remember talking to my Cowboy fans, and they even like left a comment, I think, on our last episode, like that they're saving their cap space for Gregory because they signed Lawrence to like 3 years, $30 million. So it looked like they were gonna keep him as well, and then all of a sudden I just see him at the Broncos. That's really all I saw. I didn't hear about that he like flipped until after the fact. So what went down there?
So he signed with the Cowboys, or he agreed to sign with the Cowboys, and then I guess Jerry tried to put in like a last minute provision in the contract saying like money will be voided if he does get suspended, because he's gotten suspended a lot in his career.
Quite a bit, yeah.
And so he said, fuck that. I'm signing with the Broncos. He signed for the exact same monies, exact same guaranteed money. And we lost him. But I will say, I was kind of pissed at first, but then I was like, well, he's 29 and be signing him to a 5-year deal. I mean, realistically, how many productive years does he have on that contract? Like 3?
It was a pretty big, like, long-term contract.
Yeah, so
I was surprised about.
I'm kind of cool with letting him walk. We've signed Dante Fowler Jr., who could be good. I don't know. He's really only good with the Rams. He was bad with the Falcons last year.
Do you think Gregory deserves more money yearly than DeMarcus Lawrence?
I don't know. I mean, he had a better year last year than DeMarcus Lawrence. So
I don't know. I still just think D-Law's better. Well, D-Law was out for a while though, right? With injury.
Yeah, he was out. I don't know. I just like that pass rushing trio of Parsons, Lawrence, and Gregory. But I feel like, I mean, Cowboys always draft best player available, but I think they're gonna go ahead and draft pass rusher first round.
I mean, this where are they picking this year?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like we said it last time. This is a very edge rusher, lineman, the trenches, very trench heavy draft. So I feel like they can't go wrong if they pick up another edge rusher in the draft.
No. And then let's see other feelings. I don't know. This Cowboys offseason kind of feels, I don't know if it's good or if it's a disaster. I'll write a blog post about it. I'm also going to write another like winners and losers draft or blog, but like stuff just keeps on happening. So I'm like pushing it back.
I know. Yeah. It's like you could write it and then as soon as you post it, fucking Tom Brady is a Dallas Cowboy or something. Like obviously that's not going to happen, but
quarterback carousel has been insane. I think I'm going to wait till
blockbuster.
See where Baker goes, and then I'm going to write it.
But I'm very curious about that.
It's been a whirlwind, and I like it a lot. It's been very entertaining.
Do you think Baker Mayfield has a starting job next year?
I mean, I'd hope so. Like,
I think it's gonna be tough, honestly. I don't know.
He's gonna be due a good amount of money. I don't know why you trade for a backup quarterback to pay him that kind of money.
Yeah, I don't know. What if he just doesn't get signed?
Well, he just has to get traded.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's not getting released. Let's see. Oh, Juju Smith-Schuster, now Chief. I don't really have much to say about this in a football sense, but I can't wait to see Juju Smith / Jackson Mahomes combos.
TikTok. I already knew that was coming.
Ugh.
Dude, I guarantee they're gonna do some shit. They have to. But I don't know, bro. Like Jackson is honestly, because we've talked about this a few times, but Jackson has calmed down, dude. He hasn't posted anything like in a while, and I think it's
because
bullying works.
I think it's just because it's not football season right now.
That may be right, but I mean, still, he typically even would post a lot of like just random dances and stuff in his room and whatnot. But I saw one video went viral of Jackson Mahomes working at a bar, like at a club, like behind the counter, and like people were like roasting him, and I'm like, all right, well, like I get making fun of the kid for like doing his cringy videos and stuff, but you're gonna make fun of him for getting a job and like working, like good for him, like he doesn't even have to be doing that. He's buku rich.
I don't know. Well, he's probably just doing it for promotion. There's no way he'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows the whole story? But
no,
I also really have nothing to say about Juju to the Chiefs. I don't think it's that spectacular of an ad. Yeah, it's whatever.
He'll probably be good because
Mahomes will make him better.
Yeah. And then I just have to say this: it's not a free agency move, but Russell Wilson said he not initiate the idea of him being traded from the Seahawks. And just everything that comes out of his mouth is complete dog shit. So dude, I fucking hate this guy. He's such full of shit because like he literally said, he's like, no, I didn't initiate the trade. They just traded me. And I was like, dude, last year you told him, you're like, I don't want to be traded, but if you guys were to trade me, here's the 4 teams I'd like to go to.
Yeah.
And then this year he was like, I don't want this year to be my last year with Seattle, but whatever happens, happens. And everyone in Seattle is like, dude, like we want you to stay. You're our franchise guy. Like we don't want you to go anywhere behind closed doors. He's just a clown.
I've been getting a lot of like fake humble and like fake, like, I don't know, fake good guy vibes from him lately.
No, he's been that way since the beginning, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like he forces it. It's almost like he recognizes that he has a platform and he only wants to be known for being like the good guy that does like all these great things.
No, and then I knew because I don't know. I remember I just read a lot of articles about how he's fake as shit and how he's just a goofball. Like he wants to be cool so bad, but he's just not cool. It's not happening. He also looks like what's that movie star that Brendan Fraser. He looks like Brendan Fraser. Can you pull up a side by side?
Yeah, Brendan. All right, hold on.
Look at Russell Wilson's press conference and then look at Brendan Fraser. They look the exact same. But no, I caught on to it because during broadcasts, like during his first 2 or 3 years, I was like, Russell Wilson's just such a stand-up guy, like such a team guy. Everyone loves him. And then beyond that, like they just stopped talking about how good of a guy he was because everyone figured out he's a piece of shit. Like Richard Sherman will tell you. He didn't say it publicly, but behind the scenes, he was like, this guy's a douchebag.
Wait, so this is the guy you think looks like him?
Okay, you have to hold up. Pull up the picture of him when he's fat.
Oh, when he's fat? Okay.
Okay, now look up Russell.
The same dude?
Yeah. Now look up Russell Wilson press conference and click images.
Oh, wait, oops. All right, let's see. Russell Wilson press conference. Which one?
Look up Broncos.
Yeah.
Where is it where he looks fat? Right here. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Look at him, dude. Look how
I can kind of see it. He does look pretty derpy. I mean, sometimes.
I don't know. He's a clown. He's gonna choke. He only won early in his career because he's carried by a good defense. He's not as good as people think he is. If you like Russell Wilson, you probably like walking around with wet socks too. So
what a fucking analogy that is. Damn.
Dude, you're a clown if you think if Russell Wilson's your favorite quarterback, you're literally 11 years old.
That I kind of agree with that. It does seem like the younger generation stands Russell Wilson, but I don't know why this reminded me of this, but yesterday on TikTok I saw the Broncos posted this video, and it might have been, I almost sent it to you. It might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen that wasn't meant to be funny. It was Russell Wilson like walking in like the Denver office for like the first time, and they gave him like a Colorado Rockies like custom Russell Wilson jersey, and he was like, "Oh, like a Rockies jersey, like this is dope." Like, and he's like, "Yeah, like this kind of jersey that it brings me back to like memories on draft day, like." Got drafted, like he recited the day like in 2000 whatever, and he's like, yeah, and then the next day my father passed away, and I went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. But dude, yeah, anyway, dope jersey. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Such a cocksucker, dude. He's a fucking
dude,
weirdo.
It was the most random thing, and the whole comment section was like, bro just got a little dark for a second, like what the fuck. Dude. Oh my god, it was so funny, dude, because he was so serious about it. Like, yeah, I remember getting drafted. That was awesome. And my dad died. Like, Jesus.
Dude, come on. We can skip the Rob Woods thing. We've kind of gone on pretty long. But
yeah, Robert Woods, that's
Trade of the Titans will probably be a better opposite than Julio Jones was.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then the big thing is Devonta Adams to the Raiders.
Yeah, Devonta Adams to the Raiders. Yeah, that is another like super, super big one. My main thing is I'm not opposed to the move actually for Adams' sake. It sucks for the Packers. I mean, they screwed the pooch because, in my opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers took too much money for them to succeed outside of that.
Actually, they offered him the exact same deal that the Raiders gave him.
Really? Devonta Adams?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think led Adams to leave then? Front office
I don't know.
Shit or what?
I mean, I think it's because he was franchise tagged last year and he didn't like that, and they got franchise tagged again. And
why would he like that?
I remember last year he said something about playing with Derek Carr again would be like a dream come true. So I probably just wanted to go somewhere, play in a dome in Vegas, and not have to be in the freezing cold in Green Bay and get to play with his college quarterback. So I think it's really that simple.
Yeah, that's because I was going to ask, like, how good do you think this the Carr and Adams connection or the reunion will be in comparison to, because I mean, you can't lie, Rodgers and Adams had one of the best connections in the NFL. So I don't know if it's going to be better or what.
I think it's going to be kick ass. And the next thing I'm going to say, you're going to hate me for it. Okay. But I'm putting a future AFC West Raiders.
No.
Yep. I'm doing it.
Dude, they're going to finish last in that division.
No, they're not, dude.
Dude, what are the odds? Hold on. What is it? AFC West? Yep. All right.
Mhm.
AFC West betting odds 2022.
I think they come out after the draft.
So it's Chiefs plus 150. Broncos and Chargers are both even at about plus 270. And then Raiders plus 700.
Music to my ears.
In terms of value, you're right. That is the value bet. Because it's really not worth it to place money on the others. But I don't know if I can see. I could see them beating the Broncos and the Chargers, maybe. But I don't see them finishing above the Chiefs.
I do.
Really?
Dude, because they still got Mad Max. They traded for another
huge contract.
Who's the other guy that they traded for? Was it Ngakoue or they traded away Ngakoue?
I forget.
Hold up, let me check that. No, Ngakoue played for the Raiders last year.
I know they've been making a little bit of moves, but I mean, because last year that was a big thing with the Raiders.
Chandler Jones. They added Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
They need to.
That is big.
Their secondary needs to be better, but they've got Trayvon Moore at safety. Their other safety's pretty good too. Their O-line's good. They got Josh Jacobs. Hopefully he'll be fully healthy again.
Yeah, I think he's a solid running back.
And they have a trio of Devonta Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller. I mean,
yeah, no, you're right. Because I was just thinking about their receiving core because last year, like Darren Waller was hurt for so long that it was literally just Hunter Renfrow. And Hunter Renfrow I love the guy. He's not a wide receiver one, I don't think. I think he thrives a little bit more as a wide receiver two. And
easily.
Yeah, and I mean you're right. Now that you lay it out, I mean, shit, Devonta Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Waller, that is scary for any opposing secondary.
And Derek Carr just keeps getting better.
I agree. No, yeah, Derek Carr is the best. I think I've said it before on the show, but I'll say it again. Derek Carr is the best quarterback in NFL history to be the worst quarterback in his division.
Yeah. So, and with all that compared to Josh McDaniels coming in, who I think is going to be,
I agree,
a lot better his first time head coaching the Broncos like 15 years ago. I think he's going to draw up a really good offensive scheme, and they're going to win a lot of football games.
I like that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he succeeds, but it's so hard for me to put him past the Chiefs, man. It's Mahomes. It's just hard. I might honestly hop in on that though with you, just because the odds are pretty damn good. I mean, plus 700. I like that. If I could bet on the Broncos to finish last in the division, I would do that. But I can't. I don't know how to do that. I
actually don't think the Broncos have as good as a team as they think they do.
Yeah, I agree. I think defensively they're fine, but we'll see. We will see. But alrighty, though, I'm sure there will be more NFL free agent updates. I know baseball has also been pretty nuts lately, so may dive into some of that on Thursday. But for now, let's close things out with some love it or loathe it.
All right.
I'll throw the first set at you real quick.
Okay.
All right. So first thing is a little touch into MLB free agency. The San Francisco Giants signed Jock Peterson from the Braves.
I mean, it's Jock, so it's not really the biggest signing. You could probably count like in the past couple of days, there's Carlos Correa. Signed with the Twins, Chris Bryant going to the Rockies, which makes no sense.
I was going to say that literally made no sense. They got rid of everybody. It looks like they're going to do a rebuild, and then fuck it, Chris Bryant, like
probably put asses in seats.
Yeah, that is one thing that would help because I mean that's kind of what the Rangers have is like 2 players and then the rest is
Nah, Rangers are on the come up, dude.
I mean I agree they're on the come up, but like let's be real. Other than Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. They just traded away Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I mean, Adolis Garcia is pretty solid, but I mean, other than that, like,
dude, we didn't need Falefa though. I mean, we probably should have kept him at third base until midseason because Josh Jung isn't going to be ready till like August. But
dude, I thought there was a chance we were going to get Trevor Story too. It was in the rumor mill that Story was going to Texas, but he signed with Boston.
Yeah, he's from He's from DFW. But anyway, we could probably go 500. But yeah, back to Jock Peterson. Whatever. This is probably not going to be that big of a deal.
I kind of like it just because I feel like the Giants needed one more bat, and Peterson's a pretty solid bat. But all right, next up, going back to that TCU tournament run, and this is all just coming out of my ass, but TCU beat Seton Hall so bad by 27 points that their coach, Kevin Willard, left the program for Maryland a day later after 13-plus years with the team.
So, like, the Big Ten Maryland?
Yeah, Big Ten Maryland, yeah.
That's funny.
That is. It's kind of weird.
I mean, it's probably a pay raise from Seton Hall to Maryland, but
yeah, definitely. It was just I just thought it was funny that like immediately after
he's like peace
left. Yeah, the next morning he's like, all right, peace.
Yep, I can't win with these clowns.
Exactly. I mean, they make the tournament every year. They haven't made it past the second round since 2000. So, alrighty though. Next up, this one's kind of a wild stat. Ken Griffey Jr. is currently the 6th highest paid player on the Cincinnati Reds, earning $3.59 million a year, even though he hasn't played since 2008.
I love it. That's hilarious. I love it when baseball has those weird contract things where they just keep on paying guys, like Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, that's a super famous one. Yeah.
I know there's other guys like Bobby Bonilla that just keep on getting paid, and
for those guys, man.
Six highest player on the roster, and he hasn't played for them in 15
Dude, I would be like if I'm like the 7th highest paid player, I'm salty as fuck. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, like
easily.
I don't understand those complex contracts, whatever, but I just know it's part of baseball.
Baseball players have really good agents.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
All right, and then court documents containing evidence that Yankees were stealing sign signals around the same time frame as the Astros were going to be unsealed soon, even though the MLB tried to hide the scandal.
Oh, I love it. One of my good friends is a Yankees fan. He always complains like, "Oh, we went to the World Series and won it if the Astros didn't cheat." And now this comes out, so I can just, I don't know, make fun of them. And it's always fun to see Yankees fans in pain because they're always woe is me, and they're the Yankees. So literally the richest team in baseball. I don't know. They always have one of the highest payrolls.
Yeah, if anybody needs to cheat, it's not the fucking Yankees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right,
so, that's funny. Excited to see what comes out of it.
Ooh.
All right. Charles Leclerc wins the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix as Ferrari goes 1-2 with Red Bull losing out on points completely in the final 5 laps.
Yeah, I love this. I had to throw in just a little hint of Formula One in here today because that was the first Grand Prix of the year, and it was insane. The Ferrari hype train is fully boarded and has left the station because Ferrari is back. I mean, that's their first 1-2 in over 2-3 years, actually. And Red Bull, man, Max Verstappen, last year's champion, was 2nd place. He was battling back and forth with Leclerc. They were just switching positions. It was awesome to watch. And then with like 5 laps left, Verstappen's car just shits out. Like you hear him on the radio and he's screaming like, "What the fuck is wrong with the battery?" And then they're like, Max, nothing is showing up on our end. It's all good. Keep driving. He's like, "No, it's fucking dog shit. It's not fucking," like he's just screaming. And then the car just goes dead. Like it just starts slowing down, stops moving, and he has to retire the car. And then 1 lap later, the other Red Bull driver, Sergio Perez, spins out on a turn with 2 laps remaining. They completely lost all their points. So it's like, holy shit, terrible for Red Bull, great for everybody else. But it was nuts. It was a nuts Grand Prix, super fun to watch. So looking forward to the season.
Yeah, I kept on hearing that Ferrari was going to be back.
Yeah, dude,
this year.
I didn't really believe it that much, but dude, their pace, their car is faster than every other car this year. Like,
push.
Yeah,
Patty the Batty wins his 2nd UFC fight via submission.
Oh, I love this. We are big Patty the Batty stands on this podcast. And
everyone loves him.
Yeah, dude, he's awesome. He in an interview after this fight, he didn't call out any Instagram lizards or anything, but he did say like he gave a lot of respect to like Conor McGregor, and he was saying like how he loves being compared to him because he plans to be bigger than Conor McGregor ever was for the sport. And I'm all here for that. I love Patty the Batty. He's an awesome personality. He's fucking hilarious. And he's a good fighter. I mean, he hasn't shown any signs of struggle so far in the UFC. So I'm curious to see if he can actually become a champion one day.
Shit, I hope so. I want to see him around as long as possible. A new Athletic article came out today detailing just how toxic Urban Meyer's tenure with the Jags was.
Yeah, so I saw something about it, but I didn't necessarily dive deep into it. So what were the revelations per se? So
I'm about to just go ahead and buy an Athletic subscription just so I can read that article. It's probably about time I get one. I heard it's worth it. But anyway, he said some stuff like, I don't know, they messed up a play in game, and then the next day he was like, I could cut every one of you, and none of you could get a job paying more than $15 an hour. That offended the locker room.
Damn, Urban. Obviously. I mean, fuck. Like, I feel like 90% of them don't have college degrees.
Or the opportunity to work for another NFL team.
Yeah, exactly.
And then John Brown was like, I think he ran a route wrong. And so he had him stay after practice to work with Trevor Lawrence. And he was like, Trevor, you got to slow it down and dumb it down for this guy. Because John Brown's from Florida. He was like, these Southern boys, they come kind of slow. I was like, what? Like in the head.
Dude, so Urban is just like a old school traditional coach, I guess, in that sense. Like,
no, he would belittle his players and had other coaches like every day. And so that's what I've kind of gathered from it. So I'm ready to read this article.
That's wild because like he had his issues at Ohio State, but like I feel like he was never considered just like a pain to work with or like a pain to play for, or like, you know,
everybody won.
Yeah, I was about to say, because everybody wanted to be a part of his team because he was winning. But yeah, I'll love the fact that the article came out, but loathe the fact that Urban Meyer is just straight up asshole. Like, damn.
Dude, remember when we thought that Urban Meyer to the Jags was a good signing?
I thought it was a phenomenal move. I'm not going to lie. I was super happy about it.
We're like, it's going to work out. And probably our biggest sell of the podcast besides that bracket that we made on last Monday.
I don't even want to talk about the bracket, but I think we're in like, I'm going to check actually just to see. Probably we are in, what is this? The 24th percentile. Not very good. Could be better. I mean, somebody's got to be in the 1 percentile, you know, so we're not as bad as those guys. But alrighty, though, I'm sure we'll have some more March Madness updates after the Sweet 16 goes down on Thursday and Friday. What were you about to say?
I was about to say, should we make a Sweet 16 bracket?
I would be down for that.
Try and redeem ourselves.
Yeah, if that's like an option somewhere. I'm sure there's a website.
I always get a notification from the Tournament Challenge app.
I know they do like a second chance one for the second round, but I don't know about the Sweet 16.
I've always seen it, so I'm sure we could do it.
I'd be down. Yep. Alrighty, though. So stay tuned for more March Madness coverage. Going to be talking about that basically the whole time, really, until the Final Four in New Orleans. But also going to be, I guarantee there will be more NFL craziness next week and possibly some MLB talk. But yeah, alrighty. We will see you guys on Thursday. If you stayed till the end, appreciate y'all listening. And yeah, peace.